I hope all of you are fine. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Arya from 10I. I'm number 1. And this is my friend.
Hi, I'm Valen from 10I number 8.
Today we will explain about the Islamic kingdom in West Sumatra. There are 3 main points in our PowerPoint. The first one is about the process of the birth of the Islamic Empire. The second one is about the conflict that happened in the kingdom. The third one is the values we can take from the leaders. The first time Islam entered West Sumatra was in the 7th century, precisely in 674, because there were Arab traders on the east coast of Sumatra island, which resolved Islam to enter Indonesia. The evidence was from the news of the Tang dynasty, which started that there were Tasher people considered as Arab traders who came to the archipelago. From this map, we can see that the spread of Islam in Sumatra originally from Aceh, but the first entry of Islam to Indonesia was through Parus, an area located on the west coast of Sumatra. The first Islamic kingdom in West Sumatra was the Pagaring Kingdom. This happened because the Pagaring Kingdom was estimated to have been founded in the 1300, and one of the kings was Aditya Varman. At first, the Pagaring Kingdom was a Hindu-Buddhism kingdom, but in the 16th century, Islam influence began to develop in Pagaring Kingdom. Third religious teachers who stopped in West Sumatra. One of the priests who was considered to be the first to spread Islam in Pagaring is Sheikh Burhanuddin Ulakan. He was a disciple of the famous Agustinus priest, Sheikh Abdurrahman Singkil. In the 17th century, Pagaring Kingdom finally turned into an Islamic sultan, and the first sultan of Islam in Pagaring Kingdom was Sultan Alif. The following are the relics of Pagaring Kingdom. Arca Bhairawa. This statue is associated with the embodiment of King Aditya Varman. The next is Sarwaso. Sarwaso is one of the inscription of Aditya Varman. This inscription is also called the Batu Bapahe inscription. It is called Sarwaso because the manuscript says that Sri Sarwasa is the origin of the word for the name the village of Sarwaso in present day Tanah Datar Regency. This inscription was right in 1297 Saka. The next is Pagaring Palace, was built in the 17th century and is located in Batu Sangkar, West Sumatra, Indonesia. With entry of Islam into Pagaring Kingdom, the custom that were against the Islamic religion were eliminated, and the main things in the customs were replaced by Islamic religion rules. It also influenced Pagaring Kingdom government system by adding several terms related to Islam. For example, in the custom, the term Imam, Khatib, Bila, Malin appeared to substitute Hindu and Buddhism term used previously, on which is the term Pandito. The development of Islam around Pagaring led to emergence of an Islamic kingdom around Pagaring, which was the Siak Sri Indrapura Sultan. One relic of the Siak Sri Indrapura kingdom is the Siak Sri Indrapura Palace. Next, Valen will continue the presentation. Now to you, Valen.
Now I will explain the conflict that happened in the kingdom. The conflict was Patri War. In the 19th century, there was a conflict between the Patri and the indigenous people in Minangkabau, West Sumatra. The Patri are preachers, while the indigenous people are those who embrace Islam but still do habits that contrary to Islamic teachings, such as cockfighting, drinking liquor, and gambling. Knowing this, the Patri asked the indigenous people to abandon their habits that are contrary to the teachings of Islam. However, there was no agreement from the negotiations that caused the anger of the Patri and triggered a civil war in 1803 called the Patri War. In 1821, out of desperation, the indigenous people on behalf of the Pakaruyung Kingdom asked for help from the Dutch. The Dutch troops successfully repulsed the Patri out of Pakaruyung in 1822. The war continued. The Patri attacks finally succeeded in forcing the Dutch troops to return to Batu Sangkar. After gaining additional troops in 1823, the Dutch returned to attack, but the Patri persevered, forcing the Dutch to retreat. The Dutch called for peace with the Patri, led by Tuanku Imam Bonjol with the Masang Treaty in 1825. After the end of the Diponegoro War in Java, in 1831, the Dutch attacked the Patri again and built the Fort de Kock Fort at Bukit Tinggi. Since the beginning of 1833, compromises began to emerge between the indigenous people and the Patri. The indigenous people realized that the Dutch aid was just a sheep fighting strategy, so they united to face the Dutch. Several Dutch strongholds were attacked suddenly and resulted in many casualties. The Dutch realized now that they were not only facing the Patri, but the Minangkabau society as a whole, so they issued the Plakat Panjang stating that the arrival of the Dutch to the Minangkabau was not intended to rule the country. They just came to trade and maintain security. However, the Dutch returned to attack on a large scale and managed to control West Sumatra. The war between the Patri, who had united with the indigenous people against the Dutch, continued until 1838. The Patri War took a long span of time, draining wealth and sacrificing many lives and souls. Besides, made Pakaruyung Kingdom collapse. The civil war also had decreased the economy of the surrounding community and pushed people away from conflict areas. The figure in the conflict is Tuanku Imam Bonjol. He is one of the Patri leaders and warlords in the Patri War. Patri War evidence are Pingutu Mosque and Fort de Kock Fortress. Pingutu Mosque is one of the oldest mosques in Indonesia, which was founded in 1823 by the Patri and became a silent witness of the Patri War. Fort de Kock Fortress is a heritage fortress from the Dutch in West Sumatra, which was founded in 1825 and used as a Dutch stronghold since the Patri War. The values from the figures of the Islamic kingdom are the unyielding spirit of Tuanku Imam Bonjol. We also must work together. Unlike Patri and indigenous people at the first war, they all together had united to conquer the Dutch. That's all from us. Thank you. God bless.